Warning: Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please make sure you click that link in the description, go to change.org, and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, today we're going to speak about DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, which I never liked that word. I never liked that phrase, diversity, equity, and inclusion, because one, diversity has nothing to do with us. Because whenever they're talking about diversity, what they're basically is saying is we want to pull in more like us, who just has a funny last name, or who just has tied to a different land. They're never speaking about Black Americans when they're speaking about diversity. And then the equity. Nobody on this continent, in this country, deserves equity whatsoever in this country except the foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American slaves, the American freedmen. And nobody's included into any programs from the Black community when the programs are meant for people outside the Black community. Black Americans are not included in programs that they have for Latinos, illegals, or anything else. It is a very, very tight-knit box that we can't get in whenever it's for everyone else. But when it's for us, all of a sudden, everybody must be included in every policy that's supposed to be for us. And this is why I'm liking what Trump has been doing. In case you don't know, Trump has removed DEI in areas of the federal government, and that's hurting a lot of people's feelings. And really, we don't care. They're turning to us like Black people. Don't you see that this is gonna fall on us? First and foremost, who is us? Only people that's talking like that are literally people who are not from here and Democratic shills trying to fearmonger Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, that, ooh, you're next. Even though that's complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense. And so we're over here celebrating the death of DEI because we know some things that other people tend to forget. We're celebrating the fact that Trump is reclassifying the 14th Amendment. He's not eliminating the 14th Amendment like people are going around trying to convince us or trying to tell you in order to fearmonger you. Like Roland Martin. That big old pinball. No. He's trying to reclassify it so that it is enforced in the way that it's supposed to be enforced. See, what Trump is doing is removing all the strings that allow people to tether on to our rights, our causes, our civil rights movement. That's what Trump's doing. And honestly, I'm all for it. None of these things were ever meant to go towards every Tom, Dick, and Juan that steps on the land and plop out a baby. It was never meant for any of that. None of our policies that was specifically supposed to redress the wrongs that was being done to Black Americans, none of those things were supposed to go to everyone else. And people are upset because we're not upset that these things are happening. I was having a conversation in one of my law classes where somebody who clearly isn't a foundational Black American, and if he is, he was just a tap dancing coon. Well, he might just be a part of the LGBT because he's a real, like, you know, one of those type of guy. He's really flamboyant. So maybe he is a part of the LGBTQ. But we were having a conversation and we were talking about the birthright citizenship and how it's being reclassified. And the guy wanted to say all kind of stuff. He was talking mad stuff about Trump. And I'm just sitting there listening. And he's like, fascism in one location isn't going to look like fascism in another location. And I asked him, I said, so you're telling me that your boy Obama, he would be caught dead, sitting, laughing, and joking around with Hitler? Because he was caught dead doing that with Trump. And he's like, well, I don't think that's a good comparison because, like I said, fascism isn't going to look the same in different areas and different locations. And I'm like, it isn't fascist to eliminate an understanding of an amendment. That is absolutely incorrect. When the understanding of the amendment is clear, the directive of the amendment is clear as clear could be. And the thing that I said that really pissed him off is the fact that when I was talking about the DEI and I'm like, eliminate it because it doesn't benefit us. Oh, that made him lose his mind. So family, we have a lot of people who are illy misinformed. Hell, even in the class, they asked us there yesterday what we thought about the federal aid being put on hold. Do you know that my professor, whether he knowingly or not, he participated in the fear mongering? Because the same dude I was talking about was sitting there talking about how our financial aid is going to be put on hold and this is just un-American and all this other stuff, right? And I asked the class, I said, for those who are on financial aid, do you know if it's going to affect your financial aid? And then the professor comes in and says, well, it says federal spending, foreign aid and financial aid and loans. Because I had said before he said it just said financial aid and loans. I'm like, we give financial aid and loans to many countries. And then he made sure to go back in there and throw in that, it says foreign aid, financial aid and loans. Family, do you know this morning I got an email while everybody in the classroom was all tripping out and all this other nonsense over that crap? I got an email this morning, which means we all got the same email from the Office of Admissions. And it clearly states, if you are a financial aid recipient, you do not have to worry because Trump's freeze does not affect financial aid. You will get your financial aid as on time as expected. So this is what I mean. There's a lot of ill-informed people, and there's a lot of people who are spreading the misinformation, the wrong information. I hate saying misinformation because, like I said, there's information is either right or is wrong. But all these people were sitting there tripping the hell out. And I had to explain to these folks that a lot of people let their emotions drive them. And they need to stop being so emotionally easy to manipulate. Because here they are in the class creating the worst scenario that they can think of, only to find out the very next day, and I can't wait to go back to class tomorrow to rub it in their face, only to find out the very next day that they're incorrect. So the universe proved my point, and I didn't even have to be there for it to be proven. But I digress, family. Let me pull this back to where we were going. There's so many people that literally don't know and don't care to know what these amendments really were for and are for till this day. So Trump got out there and he told them the 14th Amendment was originally created for the children of slaves in America. And it isn't right, nor is it fair, or is it respectful that just anybody is given that right. All you have to do is step on the land and then have a baby, and the baby's now an American citizen. There's no other country in the world that does that. As a matter of fact, go to a different country and have a baby and see what the expenses are going to be. I've had people tell me they were going to fly over to Europe since they got universal health care to have their children. And you know what happens when they get there? They get handed a bill after they after they have birth. Now, it's one thing if you're in the UK and something happens and you need to go to the doctor, but if you go over there deliberately going over there to have a baby because it's free over there, you're going to be handed a bill, and they're not going to hand you citizenship because you flew over there to have a baby in the UK. And that goes for any country. Any country. So I'm about to bring some shock to you, because the Republicans are talking in ways that the Democrats have never spoken when addressing Black America whatsoever. But I want to show you this, family. Tariq Nasheed reposted Trump saying this:
"We are fighting hard to get birthright citizenship or automatic citizenship for the children of illegal aliens." That's another way. It's automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens. That's the other term that they use, which is actually more accurate, more understandable. And it's ridiculous. We're the only country that has it, and certainly the only country that has it to that extent. And it wasn't meant, if you look, it was really meant for children of slaves. This is when it happened. The children of slaves. It was not meant for everyone to come into our country by airplane or charging across the borders from all over the world and think they're going to become citizens. It's not meant for that. It wasn't meant for that. And hopefully at some point the courts will understand that without having to go through a whole big deal. This was meant for the children of slaves. And look at the timing of it, and you'll see. And I hope judges will understand that. And it has to stop, because it's really hurting our country very badly. We are fighting hard to...
Family, he ain't telling no lie there. And Tariq Nasheed, he comes in and says, Trump said the 14th Amendment was meant for the children of slaves in America. I 100% agree with Trump. And I agree with Trump as well. But family, the world must have turned upside down, because here come Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter come in and she says, so did at least a half a dozen Supreme Court cases, including slaughterhouse cases, Ex parte Virginia, Schroeder versus West Virginia, Neal versus Delaware, Elk versus Wilkins. I don't know what's wrong with me on that one. This is yet another example of immigrants trying to appropriate the black experience in America. When have you ever heard a Democrat talk like that? Now, you know us. We're neither Republican nor Democrat. We're black Americans, and we remember that we are black Americans fighting for the black interest in America. So when Ann Coulter, of all people, who used to be one of the biggest, maybe she still is, one of the biggest mouthpieces in racism, comes and says this and brings up all the cases that have set the precedent, that has already defined what the 14th Amendment is and what it's and who it's for, When you have a Republican doing this, now you must really start asking questions. You gotta really start asking questions. And there is another video I'm going to be doing on Ann Coulter, because I don't know if Ann Coulter is out here trying to get an invite to the barbecue, but the barbecue, the cookout, we shut that down. I appreciate her trying. Keep up the good work, I guess. But we shut the cookout down. It's gone. Just know that. But I want to go to this next video of let's put it like this, the father of the delineation movement, our good brother and elder, Dr. Claude Anderson. And he comes to address the issue of birthright citizenship and how all these different people tether on to the civil rights laws that was supposed to be for us.
And those civil rights laws was written strictly and exclusively for black people. That's called the Slaughterhouse case of 1872. And then later on in 1879, the Saunders case said the same thing, that the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment civil rights laws were put in place to protect the ex-slaves in America, the black population. They should not be entered by anyone else and be misused, because if you let other people use it, that's how whites come up with this thing about, if you're going to try to take back what we took from you, that's reverse discrimination. So that's why it's a joke. They have all these other groups coming here being classified as immigrants and white immigrants, and again, being able to use the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment. That was strictly for black folk and ex-slaves. If they're not ex-slaves, Native Americans, ex-slaves, Native Black Americans, ex-slaves, they have no entitlements of the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment of the civil rights laws. Neither would women entitled to be under there. Women got all their rights. Women all the way through to slavery. White women had all their rights. Only thing they didn't have in 1850 when they started the civil rights movement, and when they started the women's movement, they were looking for the right to vote. Why? Because they said we want to have a right to vote even if we don't own property. Because in the end of the Civil War, or really up into the 1919, white women had to own property to vote. But white women who did own property have always had the right to vote. Even during slavery, white women had the right to vote if they were property owners. And so what I'm saying to you is that the immigration policies and civil rights laws in this country have been misused and abused, and the primary perpetrator of that has been the United States Supreme Court. And here's what I'm saying about the United States Supreme Court. The United States Supreme Court is a guardian of racism in this country. Their primary responsibility, all the way back since they were appointed in 1803, was to be able to misuse and guard and maintain slavery and the subordination of black folk in the country. And that is in violation of the 13th and 14th Amendment. The United States Supreme Court has no right to overrule anything pertaining to black folk in terms of rights, obligations, privileges, and reparations. They have no rights. Their rights are restricted to being in ambassadorial appointments and relieving people who have violated their oath of office in the federal government, in a federal job, or in a lowercase ruling. That's it. And so black folk need to understand and sort of reverting back and saying we're reclaiming our rights and privileges and recognition in the 13th and 14th Amendment and civil rights laws. That's our laws, nobody else's. And they cease and desist allowing anybody to come to this country saying that they have a right to the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment and the civil rights laws. Those civil rights laws have been corrupted. They were corrupted all through history. They were corrupted in the 1960s when black folk again let everybody come in and proclaim them to be, say we're entitled, we have 14th Amendment rights. We got rights to this and that. You don't. If you're not black, you had no rights. Anyway, that's Connecting the Dots for you. This is Dr. Claude Anderson signing off again this day for Tuesday on Connecting the Dots.
Salute, salute, salute to our elder, grandmaster teacher, and the father of the delineation movement, Dr. Claude Anderson family. So, understanding this in Black America, being a foundational Black American who understands these things, many of us aren't even tripping on Trump removing a DEI and reclassifying birthright citizenship for what it's supposed to be. We don't have a problem with that at all. Not whatsoever. But you got people running around here trying to convince us that it's a us problem when it isn't. You got people like Al Sharpton, who is Al Sharpton is one of the biggest federal agents in our history. Let's put it like that. Al Sharpton is a scam artist, a CIA informant. Was it CIA? Excuse me. FBI informant, not a CIA informant. Excuse me. I don't understand how anybody in the Black community rocks with the man. Even the old niggas, in the words of Jason Black. I don't see how they do it. If they were around for this stuff, why are they still supporting this man? But I digress. This man decides to lead a boycott. Or let's rephrase that. He calls it a buy-in to Costco. Because Target eliminated their DEI programs. So people are all over Instagram, all over X, all over TikTok talking about how people need to boycott Target. But yet, for all those people who wants to boycott Target, why aren't you boycotting Instagram, X, or TikTok? Because they're all anti-Black platforms. Facebook also eliminated their DEI program. So why are you on Instagram? Tesla has removed their DEI programs. Why are you on X? How many of you still drives a Tesla? This is why it irritates me so much, because a lot of people are just unfreaking serious. They're just unserious. A bunch of manufactured outrage and a bunch of followers, a whole bunch of sheep. Bad. And that's why I never subscribe to being a sheep. I don't follow no shepherd. Because a shepherd will lead the sheep to the slaughterhouse. It is the shepherd that leads the sheep to the slaughterhouse. But yet, all these people are so easily manipulated by emotion. And that's why the Democratic Party keep you emotional. Because an emotional mind is an easy to manipulate mind. A logical mind can't be manipulated. Logic and reason can't be manipulated. This is another reason why the Democratic Party try to hypersexualize women and emasculate masculine men. Because if you're masculine by nature, you have a masculine and a feminine side of your brain. The masculine side, it controls logic and reasoning. And the feminine side controls creativity and emotion. And they keep you thinking with your feminine brain so that they can easily manipulate you to do what they want you to do. Let's be very clear about that. So people like Al Sharpton, who use this tactic, can get people out there and do stuff like this. Leading a buy-in with 100+ National Action members at the Costco location in Harlem. NYC to show support for the company's strong commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. This comes as DEI policies face growing attacks from both President Trump and the private sector. Family, apparently this man went and took $2,500 and gave all these people $25 gift cards and took them to Costco to purchase whatever you can get for $25 at Costco. Now I have a few questions here. For anybody who's been to a Costco, the first thing they do when you walk in a Costco is what? Ask for your Costco card, right? Or you'll get to, Sam's Club, they'll let you in, but when you get to the register, you have to hand them your credit card, you have to hand them your Sam's Club card, and then you get to pay. So at Costco, when you walk in, they ask you for your card. Why isn't this happening here? I've never seen a Costco just let in a bulk of people without checking for anything. So my question is Costco paying Al Sharpton to do this? Is Costco paying Al Sharpton to do this? Because we know he's not above doing anything for money. That $500,000 he got from Kamala told us that. But that's my question. Is this man being paid in order to lead his sheep to the slaughterhouse? And let's look at the sheep. Family, what do you see here? What do you see here? for the most part, you see a bunch of old niggas. So when Jason out here saying you gotta watch these old niggas, you're looking at them. And then another thing I noticed, it's only black people there. You don't see not one. Look at this, all black folk. All black folk. The white women, do they work there? I think the white women work there. Or maybe they are with them. 3 white women. But the bulk of this whole situation is black folk. The bulk of the situation is old niggas. Sheep led to the slaughterhouse. It is highly disappointing. Especially given DEI hires only comprised of 4% of black Americans. This says black people only comprise 4% of DEI positions in the workplace. So I'm not even going to say just black Americans, just black people. And who's to say that 4% is black Americans? That 4% could be black immigrants. Let's be very clear about that. So we got family out here who ain't playing this, who ain't playing that game at all. So let's get into them real quick. Real quick, I'm not gonna lie, this sister is fine as hell. I just had to throw that out there. She is fine as hell. I love black women. Maybe it's the bob. I love the bob. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite hairstyles on a woman. But let's get into it. My bad. I digress.
Let's discuss some things, because a lot has happened in the past week and people are getting on my nerves. So, why is the black community upset that DEI was taken out? Y'all see this? What's the issue? What's the problem? Why are we upset? Let me show the next screenshot. So let's read this. According to several studies, particularly from McKinsey, white women have disproportionately benefited from corporate diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI efforts, often holding a larger share of leadership positions compared to women of color. So again, why are black people mad? Why is the black community mad that Trump took DEI out when it didn't even benefit us the most? Okay, next screenshot. This article is from Forbes, and it says, while many white women have made gains in American workplaces, the gains for racial and ethnic minority women haven't been as significant. According to another McKinsey study, white women hold nearly 19% of all C-suite positions, while racial and ethnic minority women only hold 4%. Overall, white women have benefited disproportionately from corporate DEI efforts. So again, why are black people mad that Trump took away DEI? Are you mad because the media told you to be mad? Yeah, you are. Let's go to another article. Here's an article from USA Today. White women benefit most from affirmative action, so why do they oppose it? People often associate affirmative action with efforts to end discrimination for people of color, but scholars say the greatest beneficiaries of affirmative action policies are white women, from college campuses to the American workplace. So, we have black people mad when it comes to DEI and affirmative action, and they're mad at Trump because he took away DEI, when in reality, black Americans didn't even benefit from programs that we were supposed to benefit from. So, again, you guys are mad because social media is telling you to be mad. You don't even know the facts and statistics when it comes to these things. Then you have people going crazy, saying, oh, Trump is going to take away my food stamps. He's going to take away my benefits, when that's not even true. But of course, you guys listen to headlines that are meant to get you riled up on purpose, you listen to those headlines instead of looking up things for yourself. Let's go to another article. Look at that. This is
Family, we got receipts on receipts on receipts. This sister came, brought some invoices. She came to tell you what you owed.
from the AP News. It says the Trump administration officials said programs that provide direct assistance to Americans will not be affected, such as Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, student loans, and food stamps. Oh, so you see what happens when you look things up instead of just listening to what the media has to say, instead of just listening to what these gossip blogs have to say, and believing headlines that are meant to get you riled up. You see what happens when you do that? Oh, and here's my last screenshot, you guys. Something that I looked up for myself, I researched for myself instead of just believing headlines that I see off the bat. Oh, this is from Reuters. This is nutrition programs that deliver food assistance to millions of U.S. families will not be affected by a White House pause on federal grants and loans, a senior official said on Tuesday. So you see how easy that was? Instead of just believing a headline that I see, I went and looked up information. You see how easy that was? I need y'all to stop just believing everything that you see. I need y'all to actually go research before believing a headline that's meant to get you riled up. And this is what they do, especially when it comes to my black people. This is what they do. They use our trauma and they use our traumatic past against us to get us to fall in line and to vote one way. We've already been bamboozled. Y'all have already been bamboozled in 2020. I'm gonna need y'all to tighten up. Do the research for yourself. Stop believing everything that you see off the bat. Stop believing headlines that are meant to get you riled up, and research for yourself. Because they know how to use our emotions against us. They've been doing it for years. Oh, black people gonna be put back into slavery. We're gonna be shipped off to Africa. Oh, they say this all the time because they know that that gets us upset. And that gets us voting one way. And I'm gonna need us to stop falling for it every time. Because it never works out for our good. Okay? Alright.
Bam, bam, bam. I mean, the sister said it all. She kept it 100. Like I said, people are too emotionally manipulated, and they allow themselves to be emotionally manipulated, and they don't want to go and do the research for themselves so that they can actually be informed on what's going on. That's a big problem. See, one thing that a lot of folks don't get is that we already know the playbook of white supremacy. Why? Because our elders gave us the playbook. They passed it down from their generation to our generation. Dr. Cress Welsing, she passed down such a great playbook. Hell, Neely Fuller Jr., he's still alive right now giving the game. So when we say we know the playbook, oh, we know the playbook front to back, back to front. It's people who don't do the research, who don't know the playbook, who are easily manipulated. I said this once before. For some reason, some of our people have become way too trusting in a government that we've consistently fought since the inception of America. A lot of people want to believe that everything is going to be good, when the fact of the matter is, only time things are good is when we make them good ourselves, when we fight for good ourselves. The only time in this country, let's be very clear about that. Now let's move on to one of our other brothers here.
What up, family? I want to talk to the black race about what I call, and my granddaddy used to call, putting your feet down at the wrong time. You know, you can put your foot down when you say, I'm just fucking tired of something. Well, when you put your foot down at the wrong time, you've been and put up with a lot of shit at a long time. And then when you put your foot down at the wrong time, you go through a lot of suffering and then you totally lose out. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. Tabitha Brown has products in Target. A lot of black women have products in Target and Walmart, right? And black women are saying they're going to boycott Target and Walmart. You're putting your foot down at the wrong time. You're going to hurt these black entrepreneurs. Do you really think the fucking Asian lady that you buy your wig and lashes and get your nails and get your feet done like you? She don't like you. That's why they hung dong dong nigga bitches in here. Y'all get your goddamn brooms ready. These bitches might try to walk out. They don't like you. So don't hurt Tabitha Brown and other people, good black women and good black people in general that got products in these places. Don't put your foot down at the wrong time. Walmart may not like you. Target may not like you. I guarantee you fucking Louis Vuitton didn't like you. He was started doing slavery. Hugo Boss don't like you. He made uniforms for the Nazis. It's so many people that don't like us that we buy products from. Don't punish these entrepreneurs by putting your feet down at the wrong time.
Family. Facts. It's amazing how manufactured outrage would get to a lot of people in the community. And then they will follow suit as if it pertains to them. Jordan don't like you. But you see a bunch of people running around in Jordans. True or false? He brought out Louis Vuitton. And a lot of you won't leave that shit alone. And if you want that, cool. I'm not here to hammer down on you. I'm here to show you the hypocrisy. Coach don't like you. What's that other play? I forget the name of that damn company. Oprah was caught buying a purse. Gucci, was it Gucci? I think it was Gucci. Gucci definitely don't like you. Let's be real about this. But yet you got all these people out here who literally run to go get those products. They run to go get those products. And one thing that really gets to me, if Al Sharpton really wanted to make a difference, he would have led a buy-in to all these stores, Target, Walmart, wherever. And specifically tell the people that's in his flock, the sheep that's in his flock, to purchase nothing but black-owned products out of these stores. That would have been powerful. He could have led all those people in his flock, all those sheeple, to a computer lab somewhere, had all of them jump online and go to these black-owned businesses' websites and Patreon their businesses. That's what would have been powerful. That would have been showing not just white supremacy, but our own people how powerful we are. This man let a goddamn buy-in in a store that really don't like black people either. Before we get to my next point, this brother, I want to include this video. He made another video about this as well. So I want to include that because there was so much truth, but it was also hilarious. So I'm definitely going to put that in because the family is going to get the same laugh that I got.
Well, look, hey, it's equal rights. We changed the sign. And every black person standing in line, standing there with hope and dream. They got an affirmative action sign up there. They got an EEOC sign up there. They got a DEI sign up there. And we standing in line with our business suits. A line 10 miles long of black men and women. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't get it. Bill Cosby done put me on the college, different world. I can get these jobs. We ain't doing no plumbing. Now we owe the government money, but can't nobody tell me I can't get this job. And then meanwhile, you got a line of white women over here. And they just walking through the door. And they coming out smiling. And we saying, how the hell they getting everything? We the minorities. And they be like, women are minorities too. Damn, we thought this was for black folks. It is some for y'all. We'll throw your bone here, but white women are minorities too. So we're going to fill all these affirmative actions, EEOC, DEI spots with white women first. And then blacks like, shit, let's get right, baby. Ain't no more white women in line. We finna go in here and get these motherfucking jobs, EEOC, affirmative action, DEI, and then the immigrants pop up. Damn, Javier. Damn, Ruckman. Damn, y'all getting this shit too? Okay, now all the immigrants done got they shit, the Africans and the Haitians, and they done came over here and got right, and got tax breaks and shit they done got right, and grants they done got right. Black people like, yeah, we licking our chops. We finna go in this motherfucker now. We finna get this shit. And then all of a sudden, Steve said, we next in line. Gays is a minority too. Blacks said, damn, well, we ain't got to worry about that. It ain't too many of y'all. Y'all in the closet. Y'all just go ahead and get y'all shit. And then black folks looked up and said, God damn, the gay line long. God damn, the gay line was longer than the white woman line. Shit, everybody coming out the fucking closet for the EEOC, affirmative action, and the Civil Rights Act. God damn, the gay line long. It wasn't even a line, it was a fucking parade. And then when blacks finally could breathe a little bit and said, whew, the white women then got all the EEOC, affirmative action, and DEI. Then the immigrants got what was left. And then the gays got what's left. It's damn sure our turn. And then the transgender said, hold up, we next. And we really finna take it to another level. We're gonna switch the bathrooms. We're gonna get in the schools. We really finna take it to another level. We gonna start educating your kids. We're gonna walk down the street naked. We're gonna change the kids' genders. We're gonna take it to another level. And black folks are like, yo, we are so fucking frustrated that we're not getting anything. We ain't got nothing from it. And then all of a sudden Trump says, I'm gonna wipe all this shit out. Everything that white women, immigrants, gays, and transgenders could use these signs on the wall to rob African Americans of this stuff. I'ma wipe all this shit out. And black people said, hold on, y'all taking the signs off the wall. Y'all taking the signs off the wall. Don't take the DEI sign down. Don't take the motherfucking EEOC sign down. Do not take the affirmative action sign. Don't take the civil rights act sign down. Don't take the sign. And I'm coming in and saying, niggas, you been in line. Looking at the fucking sign, since Lyndon Baines Johnson, you ain't got shit. The white women came ahead of you and took your rights and took your jobs. Then the immigrants came in, and then the transgenders and the gays came in. You just been staring at the signs. You ain't got shit. Take them fucking signs down so we can go back to knowing ain't nobody got us but us. Take them fucking signs down. Affirmative action ain't did shit for me. Take that fucking sign down. I want you to know if I got it and I'm doing it, that it's all me. Take that fucking sign down. I want to start my own business and let it grow by my own merit. Take that fucking sign down.
Take that fucking sign down, family. This is where we are, family. we're in a point where we, as Black Americans, foundational Black American freedmen, are looking at the situation. We're looking at the situation, and we're, as Afro Elite says, shout out to him, we got that red pen energy going on. We're going down all the different things that was supposed to be for Black Americans and Black American freedmen only. And we're seeing all the people who are attached to these things now, and we're Xing out those programs out of our lexicon because they didn't benefit us. No, DEI, nope, X that out. Okay. Birthright citizenship, reclassification. And everything that we speak about, if you notice, Trump been out here doing the stuff. We've been the ones out here pushing the needle about Black Americans and foundational Black Americans, the difference between us and Black immigrants, the difference between us and other immigrants, and why they should not be receiving the same amenities or programs that we should be receiving, because America has a debt to us. They don't have a debt. America does not have a debt with any other group of people. Let's be clear about that. And they hate it. That's why you can have somebody like Al Sharpton go do a buy-in at goddamn Costco, even though Costco is racist as hell too. You know what? Shout out to our brother Arthur Watkins Jr., who's out here doing the Lord's work, because he posted this. People are trying to boycott Target, but they are running to Costco for upholding DEI. Let's look at their executive team. There is not much difference in Target executive team. That's it. There's not much of a difference. When did DEI work for American freedmen? And this is Costco's team. You got one dude who looks like he could be ambiguously Black. But where's the DEI? Oh, it's the women, the white women, right? 3 white women, 4 white women, and an ambiguously Black man who may or may not be LGBTQ, who may or may not be a Black immigrant. This is Costco's DEI. That everybody went to Costco as sheeple, went to go support. Okay. Yeah, enough of that. Like I said, shout out to Arthur Watkins. But also, this is what I was talking about when I said Costco don't like Black people either. Man accused Costco Wholesale Corporation of racial discrimination and retaliation. Let's get into this. This is a real short, so we're just going to read through this. In the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, plaintiff Darius Miller. And if you're wondering, that's Darius right there. Darius Miller has filed a lawsuit against Costco Wholesale Corporation. The case, identified as 124 CV 03831, was filed on May 10th, 2024. Oh, on my birthday. Miller alleges racial discrimination and retaliation by his employer. Miller began working at Costco's Chicago location in November 2015. He claims that starting from October 2020, he was subjected to unwelcome conversations of racial nature. Unwelcoming conversations of racial nature, by his supervisors. He cites incidents involving store manager Kenny Hangley, general manager Jonathan Thorpe, I don't know. I slaughtered that man's last name. And operations manager Marco Charo, which he found racially offensive. These comments including questioning the use of the very specific racial slurs and comments regarding the plaintiff's dislike of watermelon. Interesting. The plaintiff also alleged that he faced retaliation after complaining about the racially hostile work environment to his assistant manager and human resources associate in May of 2023. According to the court documents, Miller filed a timely charge of race discrimination and retaliation with the EEOC and received his right to sue letter on February 11, 2024. So, family, why are you leading a group of black sheep into Costco's slaughterhouse? That's what I would like to know. Why are you leading your black sheeple to the slaughterhouse of Costco when Costco is racist as well? Jesus Christ. This story was originally posted May 14th in 2024. But all because Costco said, you know what, we're going to keep our DEIs. They don't have much DEI there. Oh, because they said they're going to keep their, genderless bathrooms. Is that why you let it by? Because none of this makes sense when you think about it and when you put all the information together. Family, this is why Al Sharpton is leading the buy. Because lamestream media has turned their backs on him for accepting that $500,000 from Kamala Harris to give a softball interview. And people throughout the media, people throughout even church groups were calling this man out. Shout out to Black Alpha Network, our good brother. We're going to play this clip here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and refresh that and let that start off.
The cost of that softball interview was a whopping $500,000. That is what the Harris campaign provided to Al Sharpton's nonprofit prior to her sit-down interview with Sharpton, and that's certainly raising some eyebrows, certainly because, it goes against common journalistic ethics. But nonetheless, the Harris campaign made two separate $250,000 donations to Al Sharpton's National Action Network, an anti-discrimination group.
Al Sharpton is the original grifter. So if you don't know, back in the days in New York, anytime there was any kind of racial conflict, this fat ass would show up in a jumpsuit, and he would demagogue against Jews, by the way, specifically.
He called the man a fat ass. This fat ass. Because Al Sharpton used to be a big, plump, a Goodyear blimp looking motherfucker, man. But yeah, that was just hilarious.
Specifically, and get people super mad to the point where they nearly attacked Jewish people. And he was a menace, an absolute menace in the New York area, okay? And then all that got magically forgiven. Why did he get forgiven when that stuff never gets forgiven?
Why did it get?
professional corruption. He was running 2-bit scams back in the day because he didn't know any better, right? But he's a smart guy, so he wisened up and he's like, oh, the way the professionals do this is they kiss the ass of the donors, they kiss the ass of the politicians, and they get the real money, the big money. And did he shake down a lot of businesses saying, hey, if you don't give me money, I'm going to call you racist? Okay, go ahead and catch feelings. Yes, he did. Okay, and do you want to know how Comcast was allowed to merge and actually acquire NBC and MSNBC? They had a massive race problem. Al Sharpton came in and said, no, they don't. They don't have any race problem. Guess where Al Sharpton wound up? Hired by Comcast at MSNBC. Funny how that works, right? He got way better on his grift, okay? And he's been taking this kind of money his whole life, and that's why he does the softball interviews. That's why if you criticize Al Sharpton in the old days, people will be like, God damn, yes. Now if you criticize Al Sharpton, they go, oh, well, you're being a racist. Racist! No.
Yep, absolutely.
So now his new mob, the establishment cartel, protects Al Sharpton, and as he runs the scam time and time again. And there he is sitting on Morning Joe as they lecture about good journalism, a story we covered earlier in the show, right?
Wow.
Come on.
Look, I knew some of that about Al Sharpton. I didn't know about him shaking down businesses in New York with allegations of racism.
Oh, he went on and on. He was in the middle of creating riots. So he would go into the most, flammable situations, for lack of a better word, and he would come in there with a match and start lighting things on fire, right? And when he went after it, he said, oh, the Jews are running these businesses and riled people up against Jewish Americans. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And okay, so that happens from time to time with Nick Fuentes, etc. But Nick Fuentes is like
persona non grata.
Yeah, he's
right?
totally shunned by everyone who's legitimate. But Al Sharpton welcomed with open arms. Why? Because he switched up his grip. Set up a nonprofit. They funnel you $500,000. You kiss their ass on air, and if anybody accuses you of anything, you just call them racist. So he's been playing identity politics his whole life. He's nothing but a grifter. So if any of you catch feelings over that because you were part of his grift and he donated a little bit to your show or he donated a little bit to your organization, by the way, that's a smart way to run the grift. What you do is you dole out a little tiny taste of the money you got from giant corporations, etc., so that everybody shuts up about the scam that you're running. So there you go. And look, I didn't say any of it was illegal. It's my opinion that he's a giant grifter, okay? And you could look up all that information on your own.
I think Boris Epstein should have Al Sharpton on retainer for how to professionalize his grift.
Yeah, Boris is an amateur compared to Al Sharpton.
The cost of that softball interview.
Family. Sharpton ain't getting too good at these days. The grift is going down the toilet. Let's be very clear about that, because Black Americans have been calling this grifter out for years. We've been calling him out for decades. We didn't elevate this dude at all. The Black Church wants him gone. Moral stain. Black Church Coalition demands MSNBC suspend Al Sharpton over undisclosed Kamala Harris campaign payment. The media wants him gone. His what will you call them? I forget the damn term for it. Colleagues. His colleagues want him gone. Sharpton pay-to-play scandal racketeering around the halls of MSNBC, insider says, can't be acceptable. How does this happen? I think a 3-year-old would see a potential conflict in this. So when we were calling out all these people who were paid by Kamala Harris's campaign, and everybody was sitting there trying to act like she didn't do nothing wrong and they didn't do nothing wrong. No, it is a conflict of interest. They were paid to lie to the black Americans so that we would run to the damn booths for this woman who didn't and wouldn't do nothing for us. But she was literally flooding the zone with these illegals who were getting these DEI programs. Flooding the zone with immigrants who get these DEI programs. Standing up for white women interest who get these DEI programs. Standing up for the LGBTQ who get these DEI programs. Shall I continue? Let me show you the people who are affected by what the buy-in of Costco, the boycotting of Target. The real victims are our own people, our black entrepreneurs. I got 2 homegirls who got their hair care products in Target. I got 2 homegirls that got their hair care products in Walmart. Now, granted, they're the same 2 homegirls, but still. And I applaud them for that. I applaud them for that. So that's why I say, if you want to do a real buy-in, you go to these stores no matter where they are. If they have black products, black-owned products in their store, then you go and purchase nothing but those black-owned products. That's how you accomplish a buy-in. That's how you get these corporations to really see, oh, well, if these products are doing so well, maybe if we get some more black products in here, they'll do well as well. But no, Al Sharpton is telling you, leading his sheeple to the slaughterhouse, telling you to go give money to Costco to a bunch of people who are literally racist and didn't give a damn about you to begin with in the first place. Now, Tabitha Brown has products in Target as well. And she came out and basically said the same thing that I just said, and that I've been saying since this stuff has been made a viral, sensational situation. Let's look into it.
And what I can tell you is, if we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected, and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process, and then you gotta, like, where you gonna put it? You gotta have a place to store it. That's money, right? You gotta have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business. And everyone does not have the funds or the means or the availability, the space to house their own products, right? But the thing that concerns me the most, and I want you to hear me and hear me well, if we all decide to stop supporting said businesses and say, you know, I can't buy nothing from there, even the businesses who were affected by the DEI ban, right? What that does is you take all our sales and they dwindle down. And then those companies get to say, oh, your products are not performing. And they can remove them from the shelves and then put their preferred businesses on the shelves. And then what happens to all the businesses who've worked so hard to get where they are? Then what happens, right? Now, I know that something that could solve it is ownership of these big corporations, right? Long way to go there. There are amazing companies like the Village Market in Atlanta, right, who support small businesses, and you can go in there and there's some amazing things that you can buy, but it's one store and it's very small. We're talking about mass market. You can't build that overnight. Do we all sometimes have these big dreams and aspirations to do that? Absolutely, right? But it is easier said than done, but it's not impossible. But until then, and in order to get there, we unfortunately have to play the game. And in playing that game, we got to be smarter than the ones who think they're in control.
Family, she didn't say anything wrong there. She didn't say anything wrong, especially because she's given us information as an insider from someone who literally has her products in stores on how things work when you partner with these companies. But yet you have these Democratic shields and all these uneducated people and these tethers running around here trying to make it seem like she said something, or she's just against the black community because she's literally explaining that it doesn't make sense to do that. It doesn't make sense to boycott Target because of this when there are black businesses that work with Target, when there are black products that are in Target. It makes absolutely no sense. Let's go here, family. This man says, I love Tabitha Brown, but her defense of Target against those who are boycotting the company sounds like a lot like we sick. And then he going to put up this Malcolm X post, this Malcolm X quote, as if it pertains to the situation, and it does not. It absolutely does not pertain to the situation. And I started asking the question, okay, where's this guy from? So I went in, I looked at it. Atlanta, Georgia, Brooklyn, New York. 2 places of tethers. And then right here, it tells you right there, is that South Africa? Palestine, free Palestine. Interesting. But I am a student, a teacher, revolutionary, Pan-Africanist, Garveyite, Marxist, Leninist. Oh my God. Lenin killed more Africans than Hitler killed in freaking the Holocaust. Killed Jews in the Holocaust. Like, it makes no... Anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist activists. This person has the nerve to try to use Malcolm X as a tool against our own people. It might not even be his own people. Okay, now that we know who he is. Not that yet. We'll come back to that. This person, Lil Saint. I can't stand Tabitha Brown's ass. And I'm glad other people are finally catching on She basically said, forget your outrage. My products are still in the stores. Okay. Just like Ish said, surprisingly, I hate how easily black people can be bought. Anything transactional is a turn on. Where are you from? So I click, and here's a flag. Argentina? Barbuda? This woman is from Argentina. This is interesting. But yet, she has the nerve to try to talk about black people. And you don't know shit about it. She literally told you how working with these companies work. And instead of finding a way to directly support her, you go on this tangent for no reason. You go on this tangent talking about absolutely nothing and try to tie it in to your right to get DEI. Let's go here, family. A lot of y'all are making think pieces in fake outrage posts about what Tabitha Brown said, and probably haven't even bought a single item from her website, Target, or Walmart. Great point, Ms. Morris. So Tabitha came out and responded to some of these, to the backlash or whatnot.
So I want to say right now, I thank you for supporting me for the last 5 years. I have worked with Target, with Walmart, with all the places that you have shopped for my products. I thank you for showing up for me. I thank you for supporting me. When you did, I thank you for showing out for me. And if you choose not to anymore, I understand that. And I still thank you and I'm grateful. But if you've heard anything that I've said today, if you still choose to show up for me, I thank you. But also showing up for others. We in it together. Okay? But either way, be clear. I understand. All right? But remember this, if you don't remember nothing else, let's not give them what they want.
That part. And her caption says, since so many people didn't watch the end of my video and have created false narrative, this is not about me. This is bigger than me. I'm grateful for all the support over the years. But if you don't get it anymore, I overstand and I'm okay. But it's bigger than me. And I absolutely agree with you, Tabitha. I appreciate you handling this situation with such grace. I appreciate you didn't just start talking stuff about the black community as, like we wasn't nothing because a few meager idiots decide not to go to Target. Because she could have. She could have went full-blown coon and blamed the black community for everything happening in the situation. Y'all don't want to buy my products. This is wrong with black people. Y'all don't know how to support them. She could have did all of that. She'd have been wrong, but she could have. So I appreciate her handling this with grace, and I appreciate her being responsible. Now, family, I want to end with this. I want to end with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because our brother told us some time ago that all we got is us. DEI means nothing if we don't benefit from it. And by them using civil rights to push DEI, they're using our history to push for every policy that DEI is for other people.
The government of America has never been no friend of ours, and they don't intend to be any friend of ours. Anything we get from them is what we force out of them by the power of our own unity. We're at that time in our life now. I'm an old man now. I don't know how many years I got left, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna let the last years of my life make a punk. It is better to die a man young than to live to be an old compromiser of the principles that gave you life.
And with that being said, family, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, family, please click that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. Let's be very clear about something. When you're a free thinker, you're not easily swayed. And I hear a lot of people run around here talking like they're free thinkers, but really no, they're free sheeple. Because the first thing that they see and believe, they will go to the ends of the earth to bat for. Rather than looking up whatever it is and doing your own research so that you can have the proper response to it. Don't be the sheeple. Be the people. Be the free thinker that you say you are. And with that being said, family, the doors of the church are closed. Peace, family.
I know that the government, whatever, can't stand us black people. He's doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing. Us black people going to survive. So fuck everybody. I'm off.